Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane back again for another stock pick of the day, first one of July. Boy, it is hard to return to work after a 3-day weekend. First day of the work week was a rough one for me. Actually had to meet my VP for a walk, some space today. Had some people complaining, and even she shook her head like this is absolutely ridiculous. But that's what you have to do sometimes. That's part of the job. But this is my more fun part of the day. Going to take a look at Zim, which is a global shipping company. We've covered Zim before. I have a significant stake in Zim. It's more of a temporary, or it was going to be a temporary position, but it has gotten extremely cheap. So I am going to add this to my long-term dividend portfolio and not just my other portfolio, which is more speculative in nature. So this will become a more long-term play. I added actually 25 shares of this today. Let's take a look at it and see if it's one you might want to add as well. Again, we're going to look at Zim, which is a global shipping company. So a quick overview of Zim. Launched in Israel in 1945, so they are an Israeli company. Zim became a pioneer in container shipping in the early 70s and has established itself as a leading global asset-light container liner shipping company. We provide customers with innovative seaborne transportation logistics services covering the world's major trade routes and focusing on select markets where we have competitive advantages and are able to maximize our market position. Zim's unique strategy as a digital-oriented asset-light global niche carrier offers distinctive advantages, allowing the company to provide innovative and premium customer-centric services while maximizing profitability. Through this focused strategy, enhanced digital tools, and a reputation as a top industry performer with high schedule reliability and service quality, Zim is positioned to continue to expand its leadership and achieve best-in-class margins. So a couple things about Zim before we go on. There are some tax implications around this one, so if you are interested, definitely understand what they are. If you want to know more, check out www.zim.com. They will take the taxes out whenever you pay the dividend. There are a way to pull that back and recoup those taxes taken out and pay the taxes stateside if that's what you choose. I actually contacted my tax advisor, and they said go ahead and leave it in there because there's a deal between us and Israel. So if you pay the taxes there, and so long as your tax bracket isn't above the 25% that they take out, your taxes are already paid. And if you overpay, you will actually receive some of those back. So if your tax bracket is less than the 25% they tax you, you can recoup those at tax time. And again, there is some paperwork you can file right after the dividends are paid within the first 30 or 45 days, whatever it is. You can get those back right away. You'll just have to reinvest them or take it as cash. They won't reinvest it for you. They'll just pay you out the taxes taken out. Other than that, it works just like a regular dividend stock. They pay the dividends. I have it set on drip, and they buy more shares. Except for the 25% tax that's taken out on top. So Israel does take out taxes right away, but it doesn't matter if you're being paid in dividends and you hit the threshold to pay taxes, you're going to pay taxes. So don't think you're going to get out of paying taxes if you have to stateside, but Israel will take them out on the front end, and then you won't have to pay them stateside so long as your 25% tax bracket is not above 25%. Again, this is information you should cover with your financial advisor and your tax advisor. I am not a tax advisor, so definitely look into that. Just wanted you to be aware of that before we go any further. Next up, they were down 1.85% on the day. They actually have been sinking ship, so to speak, over the last months. I am in this stock over $80 per share, currently at $42.48. I actually bought 2 more shares today right here down in this 41 dip. I think I got them for about $41.50 per share. So as you can see, it definitely was lower than that, but closed the business $42.48. Zim, ticker ZIM. Again, they are a global shipping company in the industrial sector. 52-week range as low as $33.71, as high as $91.23. They have a market cap of $5.095 billion. Beta not applicable because they did IPO within the last 5 years, so it's not, even though they've been around since the 40s and really made a name for themselves in the 70s, they only became a publicly traded company, so they were private before that. They only became a publicly traded company just a few years ago. So a beta typically needs 5 years or more of market data to give you a readout. PE ratio of 0.88% for their industry. the average PE ratio for shipping companies is between 4 to 5. So a 0.88 is extremely low. They have a forward dividend of $11.40. This is again misleading. So the way they pay out their dividends, don't really pay attention to this. This 26.34 is not accurate either. The way they paid out, my last dividend from them was $2.85 per share. It amounted to, after the taxes, was about $2.13 per share. Still extremely high dividend, even after the taxes. The one before that was a special dividend. So they do pay out quarterly, four payments on the year, and most of them will be around that $2.85 range. It's based on their earnings. So what they earn, they're going to pay out 25%. Then they have one that will become it's their fourth quarter at the end of the year, which would be at the beginning of the year. So in April, I was paid my first dividend by them, which was their payout from last year's earnings. So the overall earnings, their goal is to pay out 40% of their earnings. So that dividend, I was actually paid $17 per share. And then after the dividend, they paid out the 25%, or they took out the 25% in taxes, and then I received the rest. So that 17, what's the math on that? I can't do the math off the top of my head. 17 times 25% would tell you what I received, right? I think it was 12 something total in dividends. So a $12 payment, then we'll just call it $12, whatever that math is. 17 times 0.25, they took the 25, I kept the rest. And then the next payout will be coming up in July, August timeframe. That will be closer to that 285. They haven't announced it yet, so it'll be based on their earnings. Every report out there says that their earnings are going to beat last quarter, so it should be real close to that $2.85 dividend again. Again, after taxes, I'll take about $2.13 home out of that. So $2, $2, $2, and then one special dividend will be much higher than that. Again, the last one was $17. So this year it will be $17, $285, $285, another one around December, $285, and then around March, April of next year will be the next special one. That'll be that $15 to $17 again. So very high payer. I mean, 26% is not exactly accurate, but it's definitely 20% each quarter of their overall earnings. And then the one special once per year will be 40% of the overall yearly earnings. Their ex-dividend date was May 27th for the last one. And it has a 1 year estimated target, at least according to Yahoo Finance, of $77.67. Again, Zim Integrated Shipping, according to stockanalysis.com, the 12 analysts who have taken a look at this, they call it a consensus buy. They have a 1 year target, a low of $70.70, so much lower than their current low. Some things that are really impacting shipping right now. The China shutdown is impacting shipping, so nothing coming out of China, but that also means backlogs that will need to come out of China. And another impactor is the war in Russia. So a lot of stuff that was being shipped out of Russia is not being shipped out of Russia, so there's impact there. So, and then the fears of recession, right? But in my mind, recession is not as big a deal, especially if China opens back up, or when China opens back up, they will need to clear out that backlog, and that's items that have already been bought and paid for and that just need to be shipped. My company, for example, has bought a lot of monitors and docking stations, and we are waiting for those items to ship, and we paid for those months ago, and they're telling us we've got maybe a 1 year wait on those. So a lot of back order items that will need to be sorted out. So even if there is a recession, if we're in a recession now, which I mentioned before, I believe we have been since 2019, recession will not impact anything that is waiting to be shipped in China currently, and it will take us at least the rest of this year, if not into next year, to sort out the shipping that's currently delayed in China. Excuse me. Think of the shipping issues we had here stateside and how long it took us to shake out the boats and everything that were waiting to be brought onshore. So the California shipping, the ones in Seattle, and all that stuff that was months and months took us to get through. So that's Zim. It is one again in my portfolio. I added 25 more shares today. At these prices, I just think it's extremely cheap. If you look at the earnings per share, I mean, you're getting down to where you're almost paying less than what it's earning per share. And the market cap currently, they have more free cash flow than the current market cap. So that tells me this is just a undervalued stock, and I'm going to add it, even though I, again, have over 2,000 shares currently. And I may continue to add some over the next couple of weeks before the next dividend is announced as well. I know it wasn't part of my plans, one of the stocks that I covered for my July purchases, but again, at these prices, I just can't not add. So that is Zim. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Always appreciate you guys. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit the thumbs up, ring the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I do personally read and respond to the comments. I'm always interested to read your questions, opinions, suggestions for future topics, or constructive criticism. Drop that down below as well. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a great week. I know it's hard to get back into the swing of things whenever you have some time off, but hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion and investing journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can lose money and should never invest any amount not comfortable losing. Always do your own research and invest based on your situation, circumstances, and selected criteria, or seek the advice and counsel of a certified financial advisor.